8. Today we are going to be doing equations for revision for our yearly examination. So we're going to do a few questions that revise each of the concepts that we've gone through in our topic of equations this year. So in question number 1, we have a variety of different equations, starting from a two-step equation all the way up to pronumerals on both sides. So starting with question 1a, to solve the equation, remember you always want to do the opposite to get rid of the numbers that are with our pronumeral, which in this case is the x. So with my x here, I have a 3 and I have a negative 8. The first number I want to get rid of is this negative 8. The opposite is to add 8 to both sides. That will get rid of the 8 on the left-hand side of that equation, leaving 3x, and then we add together 16 plus 8, which makes 24. Then I want to get rid of the 3 that is with the x. When the 3 is next to the x, that means it's multiplied. The opposite of multiplying by 3 is to divide by 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Okay, so that's finished. Let's try another one. Part B is also a two-step equation. So we have x is our pronumeral, which is divided by 5, and then we add 6. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of that 6. The opposite is going to be to subtract 6 to both sides, getting rid of that 6. That will leave x over 5 on the left-hand side. 9 take away 6 is 3 on the right-hand side. Then you want to do the opposite of dividing by 5, which is to times by 5. That gets rid of the 5 now. X is now all on its own. 3 times 5 makes 15 for the answer. Okay, so after that we have part C, which is a question involving brackets. Now you can do this question in two ways. You could expand those brackets out first and then solve as a two-step equation, but I'm going to do a slightly shorter process, which is if I have a 2 in front of the bracket, that means that 2 is times with that bracket, so I could get rid of the 2 by dividing by 2. So I divide each side of my equation by 2 and get x plus 4 is equal to 9. 18 divided by 2 is 9. I don't need the brackets anymore because the 2 is no longer in front of that. Okay, then I just need to get rid of this 4. The opposite is to minus 4. X is by itself. 9 take away 4 equals 5. Question D. We have pronumerals on both sides. We have 6x on the left side of the equation and 2x on the right-hand side of the equation. I always like to start by collecting up my x terms first, and I move the smaller term to collect it up with the bigger one. So 2x is the smaller term. To get rid of it or do the opposite, I need to subtract 2x to both sides, and I do that underneath each of the x terms. That will get rid of the 2x's, and on the left side I'm going to subtract. 6x take away 2x is 4x, minus 10 is equal to 14. Okay, then the opposite of minus 10 is to plus 10. 4x take away 10. We now need to get the x by itself, so the first thing to do is to add the 10. That will leave 4x equals 14 plus 10 is 24. Finally, to get rid of the 4 in front of the x, the opposite is to divide by 4, which leaves x by itself. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So those 4 questions would be examples of how to solve normal linear equations. The next type are what we call inequations because they have less than signs or greater than signs in them. Now, most of the time you solve these just like you do a normal equation. The only thing you have to look out for is if you multiply or divide by a negative sign, you have to turn the inequality sign around the other way. Also, if you want to change the left-hand side to the right-hand side, you would reverse the sign then as well. On top of that, once we have solved these inequations, we have to sketch the solution on a number line. Okay, let's worry about one thing at a time. First part is the solving part. So 2x take away 4 is less than or equal to 6. The first thing I want to do is add the 4 to get rid of that. Then I will have 2x is less than or equal to 6 plus 4 is 10. Then I want to divide this 2 so that that will disappear and x is less than or equal to 5. So they were the same kind of steps that I was doing in question 1, just with a less than or equal to sign in there instead. To draw a quick sketch on a number line, you draw, that's a bit of a wobbly line, try and draw a straighter one than that. You have a number line like this, and I like to show 3 spots. Whatever my solution is, the 5 will go in the middle. I want a number less than 5, which is 4, and greater than 5, which is 6. If you use a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to symbol, that means that you want to use a colored in dot. If they don't have the equal to signs, then you use an open circle. So my first question here does have the less than or equal to sign on it. So I'm going to put a colored in dot at the 5. And then I want to point to all the values that are less than 5, which means that I'm going towards the left. And that's it. Moving on to part B. To solve this, again, I'm not going to expand the brackets. Instead, I'm going to divide by -4, which will get rid of the number in front of the bracket. So that will leave x minus 3. Because I have divided by a negative number, I need to reverse my sign the other direction, so it becomes a less than sign. H divided by -4 is -2. Then I'm going to finish solving by adding 3 to each side. So x is less than -2 plus 3 makes 1. So that's my solution. Now to sketch it on a number line. Have our straight line, mark 3 spots, put the solution in the middle, do one number lower and one number bigger. This inequality sign did not have the equal to sign on it. So this is going to be an open circle, and less than is again pointing towards the left. Greater than, when you get those, point towards the right. The final type of question that I want to remind you of today are word problems. And there can be a variety of word problems that start from quite simple one-step equations through to pronumerals on both sides. This is quite a challenging one that I'm showing you here. So it says here, Liam is 4 years older than Mia. In 5 years' time, Liam will be twice as old as Mia was 3 years ago. How old are Liam and Mia now? The first thing you always should do is to write the wordy problem. You want to try to write that as an equation so that you can solve it. To do that, I'm going to need to give myself a letter to work with, and I always want to make that what I'm trying to find. So I am trying to find Liam and Mia's ages. So I'm going to let Mia's age be equal to x. Because in the question it says, Liam is 4 years older than Mia. So if Mia is x, Liam is going to be 4 years older than that, which is x plus 4. Okay, so that's my first bit of starting information. Okay, moving on to the next sentence in my question. This is the complicated part. In 5 years' time, Leah will be twice as old as Mia was 3 years ago. So when Liam is 5 years older, so Liam is currently x plus 4, he needs to be 5 years older. So he's going to be x plus 4 plus another 5. So that's Liam being 5 years older. This will be equal to Mia, so Mia's age 3 years ago needs to be twice as old as Mia was 3 years ago. So Mia's age was X. 3 years ago, she was X minus 3. If Liam is twice as old as her, then I'm going to need to times Mia's age by 2 so that she is equal to Liam, so that both sides of that equation are equal. Okay, so that's quite tricky to think about and get that equation right, but now that I have it, I need to solve it. So, first of all, I do have some like terms here to collect up. 4 plus 5 is 9, so I have x plus 9 equals. On the other side of the equation, I'm going to need to expand those brackets. So 2 times x is 2x minus 2 times 3 is 6. Now I have a little bit of a nicer equation, but I still have pronumerals on both sides. I have an x on the left and a 2x on the right. I'm going to move the smaller x. So the opposite of the x is to subtract x. The both sides underneath. That will get rid of the x on the left, and I will have 9 equals 2x take away x is 1x, or just x, minus 6. Now my x is on the right-hand side of the equation, so the number I need to get rid of is the 6, the negative 6, which means the opposite is to plus 6. So that will disappear. I'm going to move my x over to the left-hand side. So I'm switching sides around. 9 plus 6 does make 15. Now, in a wordy question, make sure that you have answered the whole question. The question says, how old are Liam and Mia now? I need to know both of their ages. So X was Mia's age. So I know that Mia is 15 years old. I also need to know Liam's age, and he is 4 years older than her currently. So 15 plus 4 means that he is 19 years old. And now I have answered the full question. All right, time for you to have a try. Your revision questions start on the next page.